nation and serve in their individual capacity.
I want to say that I don't hold this administration, this government, responsible. I also don't hold the previous government responsible for the completely artificially low poverty line. What's happened is that a figure that was calculated back in about 1970 has simply been maintained for the most part. There was a revision in 2005, but rather than increasing the poverty line to reflect the fact that GDP has grown by a factor of 5 over those years, the poverty line has been allowed to remain largely static. And so what's happened is that what might have been a reasonable figure in 1970 and even some years later, today looks ridiculous, which is why I gave the example of living on 8 ringgit a day per person for a family of 4 in KL. It can't be done except under really dire circumstances. And so it's not that I've gone out and found these people. It is that they have been living, that they are living in conditions that are extremely difficult, extremely tough, conditions that by any international standard would have them classified as living in poverty. And the big problem, and this is what you're sort of hinting at, I think, is the tough political reality. No government wants to say, yesterday we told you there was no poverty. Today we've changed, and now we're going to tell you that almost 1 in 6 Malaysian is poor. Governments don't want to do that. But it's essential for the government to bite the bullet and say, look, high income status is approaching. Malaysia is a very rich country. We now need to acknowledge that our people deserve a much better standard of living. We're not going to use 980 ringgits a month as the benchmark any longer. We're going to increase that to whatever it is, and that will indicate that the figure living in poverty is very significantly higher.